Hey everyone, it's Leanne. Welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. Today I have a Valentine's card to share with you. This is the card I created using the Roses for You stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. So I'm starting with a piece of red cardstock from Simon Says Stamp as well, and I'll link everything in the description below. So I'm finding the center of this card, and I'm going to cut it the length way and create this as a top folded A2 card size. So an A2 card is just an 8.5 sheet of paper cut in half and then folded. And so next I'm going to bring in my Martha Stewart envelope folder. And so this is nice. It's nice and big, and it creates the perfect folds. It has little guides and little cheat sheet stickers you can put on the inside of the lid there. And it comes with a bone folder. So I am folding this at the 4 1/4 mark, which is the halfway point, and then just folding top down, and it creates a nice edge and a nice seamless fold. So if you've ever seen like a greeting card that has those perfect folds that you buy from the card store, this is what this does. It creates those nice seams. So next I'm going to come in with a sheet of pink paper. This is a pale pink and just a regular sheet of paper, so any colored pink paper will do. It's going to be the liner for the inside of my card, and it's also going to act as a decorative edge to the front. Now I'm going to mark the center, and I'm going to mark a nice big line because I'm going to stamp off or punch out this edge. And here I have a scalloped edger, and this is from Martha Stewart as well. And so I'm starting at the center to make sure that my scallops line up evenly on each edge. So that's why I've marked that line, and then I can see that through the bottom, my pencil mark, just finding center with that scallop punch. And so I have the first one, and I'm going to continue along each side of that center punch and lining up the edges on the left side of the punch there and creating the next scallop. And then I'll line up the edge on the right where it's punched out right at the edge of the punch to create the next set of scallops on the other side. And so that finishes off the edge, and it's super easy. It's really pretty. Creates a very nice effect. Now you could use scalloped scissors, or if you have edging scissors, I think Crayola makes them, or you can get them at craft stores as well. Anything that would make a fancy edge would work well for this. It doesn't have to be this one particularly. And then I'm just trimming the edges there where it starts the next scallop, just rounding it off so it looks more polished and finished at the edges, so it doesn't look like it's missing something. Now I've trimmed the top part of the red cardstock so that the scallop can peek out the end, but it's a little bit low still, so I want to trim a little bit more off that edge, just so I have more of the scallop peeking out. So I'm coming in again with my ruler and X-Acto knife and my cutting mat. And so just a tip, if you're cutting this way, this is my favorite way to cut paper, make sure that the cork side of your ruler is facing up, and so you're not creating a space underneath your ruler where your knife could slip and create that gap, can create an uneven edge when you cut. So here I'm just finding where the scallop ends, and I'm marking it on the back. I don't want that pink paper to show through because it hides the scallop. I want that red card to show through, so I'm just going to cut off the bottom of my pink paper as well. So I'm just measuring this on both sides so I get a nice even cut, and then lining up those marks with my ruler and trimming that off. Super easy. And so now when I put this together, I should see that bottom red card stick out. And there you can see that. So that makes the scallop show up really nice. Now this is the stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, Roses for You. And so I'm going to use the roses and the sentiment, "You Have My Heart." Now I'm bringing in a mop brush and some kitchen flour just to, because I'm going to emboss this, I want to make sure nothing sticks. I'm using Versamark ink. And so I don't want any stray embossing powder sticking to the cardstock. You can also use an embossing tool. They have little pouches or little powder brushes that also work as well. So I'm using the snow-colored embossing powder from Michaels. It's just a regular glossy white. And so just tapping that off into my paper. And then I like to come in with my mop brush and just kind of tap off any extra powder that's on there, and then just wipe away any stray that the kitchen flour might have missed. And so now I'm putting this sentiment. I'm going to emboss this in white as well. And I just love the colors red and white for Valentine's Day. They're nice contrast colors. They're really sharp and crisp together. Very simple, but very elegant. So I have that embossed here. And now I'm going to put the liner inside my card. And so with the liner, this helps too, because if I'm writing on the inside of the card when I write my sentiment or I address this card, I have a light colored paper to write on, so I don't need a fancy pen or something. So I'm putting down some two-way tape just at the spine, just below the spine on the back. And then very carefully I'm going to line this up because it's a perfect flush edge. I want to make sure that there's no overhang. And then push that into place. And so I'm going to do the same with the top. So I'm putting a little bit of two-way tape on the top inside edge. And then I'm just going to fold this down on top of the paper. And then it opens up there. So it's all set to go. Now I did have a little bit of overhang on the pink and I wanted to trim that up ever so slightly. It was almost unnoticeable, but I could see it and it was bugging me, so it was super easy and quick to come back to my cutting mat and trim it off very, very carefully and very lightly, just doing multiple cuts and just cutting through each sheet of paper to make sure it's flush. So I'm taking my Jelly Roll pen here, and this is a purple glitter. There's a few different types of Jelly Roll pens, and I don't know if there's a name for them, but this is the one that has the little hologram lightning icon on the lid. And it's really sparkly, so I decided to come in and trim the edge just to add a bit of glitter and just to pull your eye down into opening the card on that bottom flap. So I'm creating my line, and this is as far as I want my glitter pen to go up on the paper. And I'm rolling the pen back and forth as I create that line just to make sure I get an even flow of the glitter ink. And then everything below that line I'm going to come in and just freehand color it in. And again, I'm scribbling back and forth so that I can make sure the ball inside the ink pen is rolling around and I'm getting a nice flow. Because these inks are a little bit heavier, they sometimes stick inside the tip or they don't like to come out as evenly. Once you get them working and going, I find that they work really well, but sometimes they're a little tricky to start, and I want to keep all my ink pretty even so I have a nice smooth application. So then once I have that colored, I'm going to come in and just color the edge of the paper, the cut side of the paper. So I'm going to put my pen down like this and then just run it along that edge as well. And it's sort of unique. I found that when I colored this, it looked like kind of a dark brown or a dark black glitter. Even though it was purple on the red, it really created a new color, and it just looked so vibrant, and it was so pretty and elegant, and it just really helped to finish the card, and it was very glittery. I love glitter. It was so pretty. So I was really happy with how that turned out. I did a sample swatch first, and when I seen it, I'm like, yes, I have to go this way. This is perfect. So I'm just going to tack down the inside flap with my tape roller so it doesn't flop around too much. And so there's the card there, and you can see the glitter just moving it back and forth. I am amazed. This glitter pen is so pretty, and it looks gorgeous on this cardstock. So there you have it. This is my Valentine's Day card using the Roses for You stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, and with the Simon Says Stamp cardstock as well. I'll link everything in the video description below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so you're notified the next time I post a video. Thanks so much for watching.